Hi there, this is Jacob John and today with me is...
I'm Sneha Mary.
Sneha Mary is going to enact the role of an examinee, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm going to take the role of an examiner. Guys, you might have seen a lot of IELTS speaking video. Today's video is going to be a little bit a different one. I'll be providing a detailed evaluation of what Sneha has spoken over here in this particular task card. Sneha is going to speak about a particular task card and let's see how the task card is going to go on and end. So keep watching. So here, I'm not going to take too much of your time. So I have already given Sneha the preparation booklet as well as the task card. And I have given her 1 minute of preparation time as well. Now I'm going to give a little bit of an instruction to Sneha regarding her speaking, how she has to speak and what is the time duration for her to speak, as it is very common. We all know about that. But just to bring a little bit of that examination scenario, I'm just going to say in that particular way. All right, Sneha, so that's the end of your preparation time. You might have prepared your task card. I'm going to set the timer to 2 minutes. I want you to start speaking continuously for 2 minutes. Do not worry if I'm stopping you in between. It's just because of the examination protocol. Start speaking.
Okay. So I have not received a lot of bad services in my life, but there was this one incident that happened last year while I was traveling with my family. We decided to stop at a restaurant to eat our lunch. And the moment I entered the restaurant, I was immediately impressed by the ambience of the restaurant, despite the fact that there were only a few customers waiting for their food. Once we sat down, it took the staff around half an hour to come and collect our order. And that was an immediate red flag. We waited around for another 15 minutes for them to serve the food. But when the food arrived, we realized that the food was stale and cold, and the dishes looked heated up for us. I immediately called the servers and asked them to replace the food because this was just not acceptable since we're paying such a high price for the food. What surprised me and what I was so taken aback by the indifferent attitude of the servers towards us, they could not care less about what we had to say or our concerns.
All right, fine, Sneha. So that was something that you have spoken regarding your task card. And moving on to the third section of speaking, I'll be asking you a couple of questions related to what you have spoken in the task card and also certain questions remotely and vaguely related to the task card that you have spoken. I'm sure that you will be able to answer. Do people dine out often in your area?
I come from a very rural place. I don't think a lot of the families dine out regularly, but they might find some time set apart for dining out with their family, maybe once a week.
What is the one thing that comes to your mind when eating outside rather than the routine meal that you're getting in your home?
I think it's the comfort of not having to do the dishes or having to prepare the food by yourselves.
That's really nice. All right. Could you please just tell me, in today's scenario, people are much more interested to eat outside rather than prepare a fresh food in their own home setting. Is it something that is acceptable health-wise and also financially, socially, whatever aspect it is?
I think health-wise it is not that acceptable since all the foods that are prepared by the restaurants may be as unhealthy as it could be. So people should try to cook at home as much as they can. And even as a family, I think it would be more beneficial for them to spend some time together cooking as well as eating together, rather than just dining.
A lot of news can be heard in the media saying that people are actually losing their precious life based on food poisoning.
Yes.
But even though many more people are interested to eat outside, it seems as if like they're not at all, would you say, affected by this particular sort of news. So what do you have to say for that?
I think people are nowadays insensitive towards these kind of incidents. They think these are rare occurrences, but I don't think so. I think we should take more care about where we eat from and what kind of food we eat.
All right, fine, Sneha. Thank you so much. That was the end of your IELTS speaking test. Okay, so guys, over here, I have given Sneha a little bit time to speak about a particular task card. And the task card that she has chosen, or the task card that I have given to her, it'll be better if I just say it that way. The task card that I have given her is about a bad experience that she has confronted while she was dining out. So while giving a little bit of evaluation, I would like to say over here is like the general statement. It is not necessary. Let me just underline it and tell you. Let me just highlight it once again. Let me just tell you, according to TOEFL examination Cambridge, it's not necessary for you to start your speaking with a general statement. But if you do, the better. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to start your speaking with a general statement. But guys, always keep it to yourself that if you do, the better. So the general statement that Sneha has provided over here was a very short one. She could have elaborated it more, but it's a very short one. But I'm not saying that it's just because of a short one, so it doesn't matter. It actually does matter, all right? And occasional pauses I have noticed just because of the thought block that you were having. You're having a little bit of a thought block because your mind was wandering and your mind was like, okay, fine, what's the next that I have to speak? Will this be all right if I say, will this be all right? So that is something that I have noticed over here. But on the other hand, I would like to say that she had a couple of proper linking words, for example, despite, and she was able to link sentences. So that is something that should be given as on the positive side. And apart from that, she was having a wonderful intonation. Intonation is something that you have to have in your pronunciation if you want to speak well, if you want to make the examiner listen to you properly, and apart from that, if you want the examiner to listen to you with some sort of an anticipation or with some sort of an enthusiasm. Of course, you should be having intonation because it also makes your speaking interesting. Otherwise, the speaking will be totally monotonous. The person who is listening to your speaking will be getting bored soon enough, and there will be not any sort of an essence left in your speaking. So intonation was something that was actually captive. This captivative intonation or this captivating intonation was something that was actually making me sit over here and listen to her, and also the pleasant smile that she was holding. She was having a wonderful smile. In fact, she is having a wonderful smile right now, and also she was able to take up the sentences the way that it should be. Speaking about lexical resource, I would like to say that she has used a couple of words. I wouldn't say that she has used some sort of gigantic words like, which is not at all appeasing, or which is not at all like for me to understand, just goes above my head. But over here, she has used ambience, red flag, taken aback. These words we do use in our day-to-day lives. I wouldn't say that these are something very, words that are not at all used in day-to-day life. But these are certain words that we are using in our day-to-day lives. But the way that she has actually inculcated this in her speaking is something that is totally appreciable. Okay, stale and cold, that is something that we never use in our local language, right? Day-to-day language we do not use. Stale and cold in the sense like the food was not at all fresh, and also it was totally cold. It was not at all, not even worthy to say that it was warm, right? So that is something that you have said over here. Speaking about the two-way, I would like to say that whatever questions I have asked her, she answered the question without thinking twice or without taking too much of a time, but also the answers were logical. Whatever you have said, it made sense, and whatever you are going to say, the next whatever you were going to say in the sentence, I was totally prepared for that because I was having this particular feeling in my mind that this is what you're going to say, and of course it made sense. Alright guys, so what I want to tell you is like this was just a very simple sample of a task card that you might have come across, because there are so many task cards in IELTS speaking. Of course, YouTube is flooded with almost all English language videos, but this one I want it to be natural. I don't want it to be fabricated. I want it to be natural, and trust me, she was just given 1 minute preparation time, and I just out of the blue I just asked her to start speaking for the next 2 minutes. So guys, I think that this particular speaking was helpful for you, and this particular way of speaking methodology is really helpful for you. So you can understand what is the mentality of the examiner when they're sitting over there. What exactly are they listening to? What exactly are they finding out to give the scores? Let me just tell you one more thing. Please aim for a 7 or an above band. Even if your requirement is 6.5, many of you might be trying for student visa, many of you might be trying like Sneha over here is, many of you might be trying for like some sort of like a very low band job or anything, whatever it might be, but always aim for a 7 and above. Then you'll be getting at least a 6.5. Anyhow guys, this particular speaking with Sneha was really wonderful. Thank you so much Sneha for joining me over here, and this particular particular perfect natural setting of speaking will be beneficial for our students, I would just give them all the best, and I would just wish them all the best in their IELTS speaking test. Alright guys, once again, this is Jacob John from B-GHUD, and
I'm Sneha Mary.
thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this particular speaking video of IELTS. Stay safe.